welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks. And of course, this morning we are continuing the very exciting and enthralling discussion with Miss Khamara Wright. She's an entrepreneur, she's an author, she's a creative. Did she say she's a dancer and singer? But she's also, her next book will be on the culinary arts, of course. That's why we talk to her. Please enjoy the second part of our chat.
To encourage them to, want to participate in that and preserve it.
Would you say these pageants really help to build persons to take on different ventures, to find their innate passion?
Absolutely. It's because of pageantry why I can be here now and be speaking with you, because I was very closed. I was in my shell a lot and an introvert at heart in every aspect of what that word means. So I recognized that in being like that, it wasn't the best thing for my growth and development. So I decided that I had to make myself uncomfortable, and I pursued the competition. I was shaking at points, going on stage like, okay, Khamara, right? And I'm just like, oh God, I need that, So yeah, it was very nerve-wracking, but I appreciate the opportunity and the experience because it allowed me to bloom. It allowed me to step out of my comfort zone and become a version of myself that I needed to be. And I think that has allowed me to open, different doors, allow different opportunities to come my way. So I'm grateful for it.
It allows you to travel. Where are some of the places that you've been?
Well, I've been to, with Festival Queen, you mainly travel within the island.
Yes.
I was interested in participating in pen relays at the time, but then COVID happened and things kind of shifted. But that was on the table as well, to actually travel overseas to be supportive in that regard. So most of the traveling though would happen on the island.
And you found that very...
Absolutely, that was fun. That was very fun. Being able to visit a lot of schools, because as a youth representative, that would be my area. And just seeing how the children responded, oh, the crown is so, and hi, and how are you? And persons are inspired as well. Oh, I want to enter next year, and what can I do, and what should I be doing now to prepare? It was always good being able to pour into them like that and speak to them. And the fact that they saw me as, that type of representative, someone to look up to, was definitely heartwarming too.
Would you encourage young ladies to enter?
Absolutely. One of my friends in the competition, she said, when you come into the competition, you come in a dumpling where you can't leave a dumpling. And it's so true. You enter the competition and you come in as one person, but the growth, the exposure, we get speech training, we get, different persons coming to talk to us about how we conduct ourselves, how we interact with persons, how to walk as a young lady in heels, how to just be confident. So the growth and development that you get from that, it's something that's absolutely invaluable. So I'd encourage anyone and everyone to enter.
Is it a lot about beauty?
I'd say no. So yes, beauty is an aspect, but the primary factor and the driving force is the character of the individual. So how are you going to utilize this platform for not only your benefit, but for the greater good of the people around you? How are you going to be mobilizing the resources that you'd be given to ensure that persons around you are impacted positively? So for example, with me, my project was centered around, with COVID, it was shifted. So I was one of the persons who did the care packages to ensure that persons who were impacted were able to get the items that they needed. I went to different schools as well, supplying school supplies and ensuring that the children had what they needed to work remotely in light of the fact that they weren't able to go to school. So different persons have different projects, but essentially it's about the character and what are you doing to ensure that who you are and the resources you have, it's impacting the community positively.
I didn't ask which community you were from.
St. Catherine.
Near town.
Yes.
Near enough. Let's go back to the book.
Right.
Khamara. Patois Project with Nina. Now you centered it abroad.
Right.
And looked at the experience of a Jamaican immigrant.
Right.
In the United States.
Right.
Why?
Well, because I was pulling from my experiences when I did travel, I found that persons were intrigued, but also almost equally confused, because they know that I'm speaking, my dialect, but they want to understand what I'm saying. They want to learn what this thing is that I'm speaking. So I found myself explaining not just what I'm saying, but the importance of why I'm saying it, or the importance of just the accent that I have. You know, so I just made links to Africa and, you know, the different things that would transpire in our culture and the different aspects of our food as well and how it was impacted. So I found that it was enlightening for them, and with that, you know, as the years went by, I would have decided to finally write about it.
This is your first book, right?
Yes.
And you're excited about it.
Yes.
Is there going to be a second?
Yes, it's in the pipeline to write another book. I am thinking of turning Nina into a series. So the next aspect would be focused around our food. Because I'm a chef as well. So, you know, allowing Nina to just explore the different, you know, aspects of Jamaican food and how it ties back into our culture as well. So you can look out for that.
What do you not do?
Ooh,
So
I don't fly.
you're into pageants, you're festival queen, you're writer.
Yes.
Now you're into foods.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
So
what can you cook?
I love to make, my favorite item to make would be oxtail. So I made that over the Christmas and everyone was just like, mega ball, cause it tastes good. Yeah, but I made oxtail. I love to make brown stew fishes. I like to make stews, a lot of stews. My mother is really the person who would make the soul food. If you want the fancy voulevole, that's me. Like, cause I went to culinary school for that. But yeah, I love to just be in the kitchen, anything that allows me to use my hands really and to just make something that can allow persons to not only be filled, but just feel good. Yeah, that's me.
Do you think it is important for us to really find ways to delve into our passion and monetize it?
Absolutely. You know, because I feel like a lot of us have innate skills that we can really use to mobilize ourselves. You know, oftentimes we are, you know, in the 9 to 5, we're not knocking the 9 to 5, but if you are in the 9 to 5 and you have something in you that you are an expert at or you do better than anyone else, why not tap into that and, you know, maximize that as much as possible? I truly believe that my potential is unlimited. There's nothing that I can't pursue. I might fail, I might learn, but ultimately my potential is unlimited. So I won't ever think that I'm incapable of doing something.
I want you to look in that camera again, and I want you to say that about the potential. So there are many young people
Right.
who are going to be watching.
Right.
And I want you to tell them just that.
Absolutely. So what I want to say is your potential, your innate potential is absolutely unlimited. Don't doubt yourself. Don't think that you're incapable. And the worst thing that can happen when you try something is that you learn. Because I don't really believe in failure. You just learn from it and you move on. So remember that.
Great. All right. So let's look at education.
Right.
Our education system is built a lot on academics.
Right.
And an academic achievement.
Right.
But then when I look at the Jamaican society and the Jamaican people, they're really a creative people,
Right.
by and large. Should the system be shifted a little bit to facilitate more of who we are and the development of our people?
I believe so. Of course, academics are absolutely important, but I also believe that there could be a greater space for us, for children especially, to tap into that creative side. I know that in the STEM industry, we have that curated for them so that they can delve into those skills. But I feel like something needs to be specific to our children. We do have art in schools, and I did art in high school as well, but I think more can be done in order to ensure that those skills are developed, for those who have it especially.
And all our people have different skills in them.
Right.
Are we testing early enough to see who the people are and ensure that they're put along the right path?
I think more could be done in that area as well, especially in primary schools, because when I was in about grade 4 was when I sing as well. So I joined the choir. So in grade 4, I joined the choir, and it was a teacher who saw it in me, and she was like, okay, I think you should join the choir. So, I'm happy that she recognized it, but I think if we had some form of, when you are starting a job and there are personality tests that you may participate in, I think having some form of creative testing as a part of the enrollment process could help to say, okay, this student has this skill, this student has this skill, maybe we should allow them to join this creative club or group for them to harness that skill and develop it.
Great. What is next for Kamika?
Well, a lot of
Khamara.
things are next. Well, I'd say for right now, writing, of course, is something that I want to pursue. I also want to eventually start my own business. So that would be centered around food and, just seeing how best I can continue to contribute to the community. I do work with the Women's Center as well. So I'm an advocate for supporting teen mothers and allowing them to matriculate into tertiary education. I wholeheartedly believe that not because you're a teen mother means that you don't need to or shouldn't or you're incapable of continuing your education. So for me, it's really that. It's just being in my community, seeing how I can be an asset to my society, writing, drawing, and enjoying life.
Being creative.
And being creative.
You have the perfect life. You get to live your passion, enjoy it, and get paid for it.
Yes, I'd say so.
Is that something that more of us should do?
I think so too, yes, definitely. And it might be easier said than done, truthfully, because it does require delayed gratification and support, because for me, this book took a lot of work, a lot of delayed gratification, a lot of saving to actually allow it to come to fruition. So I'd say, yes, it's important to basically tap into who you are and ensure that you're able to showcase that, but also know that there are sacrifices
Here's
associated.
the elephant in the room, Khamara. A lot of people would love to pursue that kind of dream and do what you're doing.
Right.
How important are the support systems? How important is it to have the right family network, friend network, the right support system around you?
Absolutely important, because it takes a village, it takes a village to not only raise a child, but to sustain who you are as well and to show up in the space that you are in, because you'll need persons to not only assist you in different things, but to just be that emotional support. Because listen, I give up on that book about 4 times. Listen, I was like, I can't do this. And it was my mother, it was friends who came in and said, come on, you started it, finish it. You're not a quitter, carry it through, even though it doesn't look easy right now. I was up 4 a.m., I had work at 8 a.m. working on this book. So it's the encouragement, it's them pouring into me that really allowed this to be completed and to allow me to even be here today. So I'm grateful for them.
Absolutely grateful to have had you on the program.
Thank you for having
We're
me.
talking to Khamara Wright, and of course you would have heard I introduced her at the start of the program as an entrepreneur and author, but I'm sorry, I have to change it. So she is the creative entrepreneur who does everything. And more importantly, she's living her passion. She's monetizing her passion and living her dream. You can do it too. And that's why we do these programs. That's why we tell you every day. We give you information to make better financial decisions. Come back with us tomorrow morning at 9 when we'll have another wonderful program lined up for you.